hello everybody and Merry Christmas. We're here with what we're calling Local at Peterborough's Hometown Holiday. And I'm Bill Smith and this is Barbara Miller.
Hi.
Hi, Barbara.
Great to be here.
Thanks for coming in and sitting with me and talking about this.
My pleasure.
So we've developed a channel on Local at Peterborough that we're going to celebrate the holidays in Peterborough. And by that, we've sort of divvied it up into different categories. You can check it out on the website on localatpeterborough.com.
Okay.
But we've put it under traditions, events, food and drink, and what's the other one? Charity, giving, which is what
terrific.
Christmas is all about.
Okay. And so we're going to talk about that?
Yeah, well, let's
Great.
just talk a little bit about holiday. How's your holidays going so far?
Oh, wow. So great. But, I think about holidays past, too. Some of the memories I have of great holidays.
Yeah, here in Peterborough?
Actually, I was thinking about when my children were young.
Yeah?
Yeah. We used to, every year, we would make a garland out of cranberries and popcorn. And it was so great because you would wrap the tree and the whole season it would just smell of popcorn and cranberries. It was so fabulous. And it was something we looked forward to every year.
Now is that where you actually have a needle and you actually have to string that thing? Wow.
It was...
That take a long time to do?
Family time. and you can't work the electronics, when you're...
Right, yeah, right. You can't do the iPad when you're actually putting popcorn on it.
Exactly, yeah.
That's pretty neat. So they've got some traditions here in Peterborough, I guess. They had the tree lighting just recently.
Yeah, that was great. Santa arrived on a fire truck.
Santa arrived on the fire truck.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
He was, I guess, this past weekend. We were going to try and get some film, but because of the snowstorm, which you can never predict here in Peterborough, we were unable to get some photo, but we know he was here.
Okay. Yes, I know he was here too. He lit the tree. Yes.
Lots of kids got to see him. Did you ever do that? Did you ever take your kids to go see Santa when you were raising them?
I think every year.
Yeah?
Yeah. We have, everybody has the photo album, every year of the child with Santa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can remember we took our daughter, this was probably a year or so ago, and she was about 5, and we sat in a line this was down at Yankee Candle.
Oh,
you ever been to Yankee Candle down in
yeah, I have.
And we didn't realize it when we got there, but it was about a 2.5-hour wait to wait for Santa Claus. So
how patient?
Yes, we were patient.
Brian.
Yeah, well, she was good. we were afraid.
How patient were the parents?
Well, as the hours roll by, you're starting to wonder, how is this going to go? Is she going to get up on that lap, and that's going to be that? But it all worked out great, so it was good.
Terrific. That's terrific.
And that's the last time we did that. But I'm just kidding.
I have another favorite Christmas.
What?
We decided one Christmas that we would share the responsibilities of Christmas dinner. And so we took all of the tasks that people do in order to make a Christmas dinner successful, and we put them on slips of paper, put them in a bowl. Everybody who was there chose one, and then someone would get, say grace, or someone else would get scrub pots and pans, or someone would get monitor the Christmas music. But everybody participated. It was just such fun.
That's neat. That's pretty cool. So you divided off all the tasks, and nobody could complain because it was random.
That's right. Everybody shared.
I should try that. I've never heard of that. That sounds like a good idea. We, speaking of traditions, is there any kind of foods or anything that you have tradition-wise? I saw something that I wrote down here. Yankee Publishing came out with a bunch of traditions for holiday tradition foods. And so some of the foods that they recommended were like fruitcake. Tell me you don't do fruitcake.
I don't do fruitcake.
Oh, good. Does anybody do fruitcake?
I think those are the gifts we get.
Those are the gifts
that
we
we
get,
put on the shelf.
Somebody's
and
got
it gathers dust there on the shelf.
Is there a fruitcake company anywhere that's booming? I can't imagine, but...
Is there anyone that likes it? Do you know anyone that likes it?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't even know what those things are in fruitcake. They're like, they look like...
Currants.
Currants?
I have no idea what they are.
I don't know.
They're called currants.
Okay.
Currants and raisins.
All right, there you go. So cookies, of course, that's a big tradition.
Yep.
I grew up with a sister that used to love to make cookies, but fruitcake, gingerbread houses. Did you ever do that?
I did. Yeah, I did. In fact, we had competition. We bought 2 packages, 2 gingerbread houses, and we split up our group into 2. We left 2 people out who would be the judges. And,
nice.
And
Wow.
so the two groups did the house, and then they were judged, and then we ate them.
You have a very organized family.
We're a very competitive family.
Competitive and organized. I like this. I want to spend Christmas
Winners
over.
and losers.
Homemade ornaments, of course. That was a biggie as a kid. Make those.
That's true. Yeah.
Wassail. We never had wassail growing up. Is that a New England thing?
Is that a soup?
It's a cider, isn't it?
Oh, it's a cider.
Kyle, did you ever have
Maybe
wassail?
one of our viewers will let us know.
I think it's like a cider mix thing you put in a big bowl.
Oh.
Am I saying it right? Wassail? All right. Well, if somebody's watching this video, you can email us at info@local.peterborough.com and give us your recipe for wassail.
I am no help with recipes. My kids used to say that a hot meal in my house was when I toasted the bread. So
There you go.
don't count on me to help with these.
That's not happening.
Yeah.
So have you got your Christmas shopping done?
Oh, I haven't. And it's interesting because every magazine that I read, every talk show host that I watch, they all talk about, we all strive for the perfect Christmas and for the perfect gift,
right.
For those people that we love and want to give gifts to. And it creates such pressure on us. And I'm beginning to feel it. We have one more week now till Christmas.
Yes.
I'm feeling this pressure. I have people on my list that are very difficult to buy for. For example, I have a person who doesn't need anything.
Doesn't need it. Oh, yes.
They have everything, they don't need anything.
Yes.
And I think parents fall into that category.
Yes.
Because I used to ask my mom and dad, well, what can I get you for Christmas? And they would say, we just want good health and for you to be happy.
Right.
Right.
Which really means you better get me something. Well, see, my mother does that to me all the time.
Oh, she does?
Yes. She has everything. She doesn't need anything. And she'll say, listen, just don't get me anything this year. And there's never been a year that I've never gotten her anything. And, because she always wants something. But she sets that groundwork first, though. Don't give me anything.
Well, and there's so many things we can do. We can give them. And I'm thinking right here in town, I think gift certificates are terrific, and especially to some of the restaurants in town. I mean, you can give them a gift certificate to Harlow's or Marzano's or Brady's.
Yeah.
I think Waterhouse, Bantam Grill, and Pearl's are all doing New Year's Eve this year.
That's right.
So a gift certificate there, so they can spend New Year's Eve having fabulous food sounds absolutely wonderful. And if they refuse to go out to dinner, but really like to know that people who may not have that opportunity can have a wonderful meal on Christmas, you can always donate in their name, to one of the community suppers in town at the Unitarian Church, or
Absolutely.
Meals on Wheels.
Absolutely.
Another good one.
Or even the Peterborough Food Pantry up there. They're always looking for food.
Not only do I have people who don't need anything, but I have people who don't want anything. They feel, I have it, don't buy me anything because I have it right. I have an uncle like this. He says, I'm 95. If I wanted something, by now I would have bought it.
Right, yeah.
So what do you get someone like that? And so I'm going to do exactly what you said. I'm going to make a donation to one of our 2 food pantries in his name, and know that there's someone less fortunate who's going to have food and a wonderful Christmas.
Well, and speaking of charity, which is part of our topic, is you belong to the Rotary Club.
I do.
And I belong to the Rotary Club too. I used to be with Peterborough, but I switched over to Monadnock for scheduling reasons. So we're both Rotarians.
Okay, right.
But they had the Peterborough Rotary had the toy drive, which you just wrapped up, right?
Yes.
Which you do every year.
Yeah.
And that's really neat.
Yeah. 25% of the population here in the Monadnock region have incomes at or below the federal poverty level. So there are a lot of families that just don't have the money to buy those extra things such as toys. And so for us to be able to provide toys for these children, and then there are those, of course, such as the Crotched Mountain children.
Right.
Some are adults,
Yep.
but we also provide for them. So it just makes Christmas feel special.
Yeah, those are neat. And
Over 1,000 kids, Bill.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool. And the Crotched Mountain ones, I know there's lots of neat toys you can get them, lighted toys and musical things and stuff like that. And It's pretty neat.
I got a
You guys-
card, once. Children are so influenced by television. And so we have these cards, and you see them in the stores. And you pick up the card, and then you buy whatever is on it for that particular child who filled it out, or who someone filled it out for him or her. And the toy was $200. I'm sure
what
the
they wanted.
child didn't know.
Yeah.
The toy that was listed on this card that I picked
Right.
was $200.
I would like a
So-
Rolex watch and a bottle of Dom Perignon or something
My
like
son said that once. I only want two things, Mom. I want a new TV for my room and,
That's right.
a brand new bike. Nothing big.
Right, nothing big.
Yeah.
We'll just take the big ticket item. So that's great. Well, so some of those charities are wrapping up, but you can always give to the food banks and stuff like that. So that's great.
Absolutely.
Event-wise, coming up, like we talked about, some of the events happened this weekend, which we had the storm, so we couldn't get out to. But Santa Claus coming to town. The tree lighting happened. I think it was on Friday night. Was it? Or was that?
Oh, it was the 7th.
It was the 7th. Okay.
Yeah, December 7th.
But they've got some other things. I think this weekend I saw this. There was this elf downstairs. We're shooting this video in the Peterborough Historical Society right now, and there was an elf downstairs doing some show named Crumpet the Elf or something. So I managed to sneak some quick video of him the other day.
Oh, great. And there's a Christmas show
It's not
going on.
something you see every day, by the way. Is an elf.
Oh, really?
I don't see him every. Or do you? You might see him every day. I don't know. Anyway.
There's also a Christmas show going on at the community theater,
Oh, nice.
the Peterborough Community Theater.
Good. What is
Yeah.
that about? Is it?
Oh, I knew you were going to ask.
Is it choir singing and that type of thing?
At the community theater?
Yeah.
It's actually a movie, and I know.
Oh, you're talking about the Peterborough, the Peterborough
Yeah,
Community
Community Theater.
Oh, okay. Yep. I do know that they have The Hobbit.
That's it.
The
That
Hobbit
was the movie.
with Smaug.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is great. People
Oh,
like to go to the
terrific.
movies and to see things. The reviews have been incredible about it.
Uh-huh.
So they're saying the big dragon will save the Hobbit movies. So we've got traditions. We have some events that are coming up. The events that are coming up from now until New Year's are primarily celebrating the New Year's. Christmas, of course, is happening, but
Sure.
everybody's going to celebrate that in their own way. But we have some big, like you mentioned, the restaurants, Pearls, Bantam
Grill, and Waterhouse. Yep.
Waterhouse is doing something called a Dickens Feast. Did you see this?
no.
They're doing it, and you can check out more details on localpeterborough.com under our events. But they have a whole big feast that they're called the Dickens Feast. I don't know what that is, but turkeys.
You have a picture of Tom Jones, don't you, in your mind, of him eating the Renaissance, having a lamb's leg and gnawing on it. I don't know.
right.
That's kind of the image that comes to mind. I
Yeah.
did go to the Waterhouse's Harvest. I think they called it Harvest Festival, everything from scratch. And this was about a week ago.
Yeah.
And it was wonderful, absolutely wonderful. The new chef or the visiting chef did a
Nice.
super job.
And as you mentioned, last minute shopping. So shop in Peterborough, shop locally.
I know, I was talking about difficult people on my list, and there are people on my list who want very specific things. I have grandchildren now, so I ask them, what do you want for Christmas? And then they give me this name of something that I have absolutely no idea what it is, or
Right.
don't know where to go and buy it. And so what I decided this Christmas is I'm going to do something for them that's kind of educational. So why not give them a membership, to the Mariposa Museum?
Oh, nice.
Or give them tennis lessons. You can get tennis lessons at the Monadnock Country Club, or golf lessons.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Monadnock Indoor Tennis. You
Yep.
can get the tennis lessons, and then at Monadnock Country Club,
Country
you
Club.
can get the golf lessons.
Yep.
Or art lessons at the Milford Academy. Sharon Arts Center has lots of courses that we can purchase as gifts, which I think makes so much good sense.
Yeah. And fun.
Yeah, and Cobblestones I know also has they have children's magazines, so you can buy a subscription, or you can go to Toadstools. They have very age-appropriate books. I know that Holly and Willard are wonderful about helping you find just that right book for your child, so you can have that perfect gift.
Nice.
And as a last resort, I was thinking you can also go to Steele's and Peterborough Camera. One of the things I've loved to do now as I'm getting older and have grandchildren is to buy a photo album and then put all the photos in of things that we've done during the year, so they have a reminder. Isn't that a great Christmas present?
I think that's fantastic. I still love photo albums, and you're seeing less and less of them because people don't print their photos. They just get, instead of having one nice photo album, with 20 wonderful pictures, they've got, 10,000 digital
right.
pictures on their computer.
And when do you go back to them?
Right. Yeah.
These are tabletop.
Yes, I love it. Yeah, no, I think
things.
that's great. That's a wonderful idea.
But I do want to caution you. I do have a friend who she dates. She's a single woman, and she
Okay.
dates. And she was dating more than one man. And two of the men that she dated both gave her for Christmas a picture frame, which is really a nice gift, a lovely picture frame. But in the picture frame was a picture of her with him.
Oh.
So now she had two of these. And so every time, she went out with one of the two,
She's gotta
she had to
pull
change
them
the
down.
frame.
She's gotta
Or
switch
she
them
had to
out.
be very careful because you certainly can't display both.
You don't want to head out in a hurry.
Yeah, some gifts, not good.
I was going to say we could solicit dates for her on the video, but it sounds like she's got
I think
plenty
she's doing
going on.
fine.
She's doing okay. She's got her hands full.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow. Well, that's great. I think we've covered it all. We've talked about traditions. We've talked about events. We've got New Year's coming up. We've got some wonderful charity things that you can do if you like.
Well, and I still have some difficult people on my list, so maybe you can help me out.
All right. Who do you have? I'm good
Okay.
at this.
Well, sometimes, in businesses, they have this, sometimes they call it the angel, or they call it the Secret Santa or Secret
Right.
Angel,
Yes.
where you draw somebody's name,
Yeah.
and then you have to buy them something.
Yep.
And so many of us get caught up in that. And the worst part of it is, maybe you've talked to that person once, right?
Right.
And the most you know is that they breathe and they eat. And that's probably the most you know about them, and you have to pick out a present.
Yeah.
So what can we do there? I mean,
So
any
do you
suggestions?
have somebody that you need to do this one?
I do. And
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe I could go like to Ava Marie's and
That'd be a
get some
good one.
chocolates.
But they have something here that I have to admit, since I'm sort of a transplant to New England, that I never realized that New England does until I moved here, which is that Yankee swap thing with the Christmas presents.
yeah.
Where everybody gets their Christmas presents and then they all start grabbing the next person's or something. I forget how it works.
Yeah.
But you go around in a circle and then people pick out the one they like. And so you ultimately, you don't end up, whoever you got the present for, they'll swap it out anyway. So.
I know, but it's very painful if you give the gift and nobody wants it.
Well, that's true.
goes
It's a
for
bit of a
it.
downer, yeah.
You kind of cringe.
Just don't do fruitcake and you'll be fine.
Yeah, right.
Just don't do that.
Because you'll take it home.
That's right. I'll prop my door open with it or something like that. That's great. So do you have any favorite movies before we go that you like to watch at this time of year? I mean, old classics.
The Miracle on 34th Street
Miracle on
kind of
34th.
thing.
That's my wife's favorite.
Yeah.
Miracle on
You
34th.
just can't watch it too many times.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about that one the other day because when that little girl sits on his lap and he starts singing in like Latvia or something, some other language, or was it Swedish or something like that? I don't know.
Maybe it was Lithuanian.
It
They
could
did
be.
have a Lithuanian Christmas here
That's
in Peterborough.
true.
Only in Peterborough would you have
a Lithuanian-
Christmas. I happen to be Lithuanian, so I mean that
Wow.
drew my attention.
There you go. Do you speak Lithuanian?
2 words.
What's those 2 words?
Oh, I'm not. No.
Okay. All right.
How do I slaughter 2 words?
We could edit them out if you want. All right. Well, thanks for joining us,
Oh,
Barbara.
this was fun.
And
This was fun.
so be sure to check out the rest of the website. If you're watching this, you're probably watching it from the website. But you can check out the channels up here on the screen and check out the holiday channel, Hometown Holidays here in Peterborough, locallookpeterborough.com, and look at the events, food and drink, charity.
Yeah.
Just browse around the rest of the website. And
Because I'm sure we missed something.
Yeah, and check
with all
out
the good things going on here in Peterborough.
and check out Barbara on All About Town.
Yeah.
You can check out the latest
Well, thank
episode.
you.
So,
Yeah, we've been having fun. It's been a great year.
all right. Merry Christmas,
Merry
everybody.
Christmas.